Okay, people, I hope I'm audible and visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this shall be our last session today. Then the group shall go on a break for some time, and then we shall resume the session after that. Let's see if anyone else turns up, but no point probably waiting any further for anyone. So let's get started. So we have to practice grammar and sentence correction. So as usual, because we have done the fundamentals, so I will not be repeating those, but as and when they crop up, I'll let you know accordingly what needs to be shared. Right? So let's get started for today. You may answer the first question. You may unmute yourself. That will also do. Uh, yeah, obviously, it won't be some. It would be for sure any. That's right. Second is the correct answer. You may unmute yourself. You may put the answers in the chat box, whatever you feel comfortable. Let's move to the second question. Yeah, either will not make sense. And if you have to use none of, then it will be none of the books was interesting. That's when it shall make sense. Right. So correct. Let's move to the third question now. Sorry, excuse me for that. No, it won't be from. So confide, you tell something to someone, right? So you confide into someone. So the answer would be okay. Let me mark the answers for
We're
the.
doing the third
Oh, sorry,
question. So,
sorry. Got it wrong. Right. That's right. It'll be from for sure. Probably I'm not well today. Sort of things which are happening. So answer for in case if someone watches the video. Second is the answer for the first question. So is the second option for the second question. And as far as third question is concerned, yes, as you aptly answered, it is the fourth option. Okay, now fourth question. No, no, into was a mistake. I accept. Into was a mistake. He confided in John. Yeah, in would be that's right. In would be the correct answer. Fifth. Well, let me mark the answers for the previous questions in case if someone watches the video from in.
aren't the third and fifth options the same in question number 5?
Yes, sir.
Which options?
Third and fifth on of the
Oh,
fifth.
okay. So disregard that. So consider it to be four options. Nice observation. Yep, it'll be on. You concentrate your efforts on something. That's right. Just give me a moment. I was just checking that. Where the hell is this? Sixth question. Yeah, it's simple. That's right. Second is the option.
So can we write against the rules also?
Okay, the soccer player was reprimanded because he had done something that was against the rules, outside the rules, against the rules. It will be correct if I put the against the rules of the game. Then you can possibly use against.
Okay, sir, got it.
Right. But again, the option isn't there. That was against the rules. Yeah, that without the of the game will also do. Yeah, you can use against. You can use.
Okay.
This is a nice one and easy. I hope I marked the answer for the sixth question. Seventh. On. Yep. So no, it's not over. It's to pick on. To make someone, to make fun of someone is to like to grill someone is to pick on someone. Eighth. Yeah, during. That's right. That's right. Third, during. Ninth. Yep, that's right. Fourth. This was an easy one. And how about 10th? Again, yes. Yeah, because I told you at is for small places and is for big one. The conference will be held at this place in this city. Okay, now read the directions carefully. It says, to which part of speech does the underlined word in the following sentence belong? Oh, that was quick and correct. Parul and Vanchita, both of you. Right. The reason being that inferred is the verb, and how was it inferred? Correctly. So that's why definitely it's an adverb. Let me write it for those who will be watching the video later on. Okay, now 12th. So you can separate the two answers with a comma. So what is the first if and what's the second one? You can mention your answers and separate them with the comma. The first one's correct, Vanshita, not the second one. The second one is incorrect. I'm just looking for settings on my phone, not able to find that. I need to make some change. Struggling with that, and that's okay, happens. Okay, yes, the first one is conjunction because this is linking the first part of the sentence with the second one, right? So for sure, the first one is conjunction. The second one is a noun. The reason being, big is an adjective, right? So what is this adjective modifying? It's modifying a noun. And what is the noun here? If. So here if is performing the function or working as a noun here, right? Okay, the next one. That's right, it's an adverb. Uh, so if it is more expensive, see, expensive is an adjective. If it was more expensive, then you would have easily marked it as an adverb. But now as has been used, so it can be a bit confusing. But now, yes, now you know the concept. So as would be an adverb here. Now the next one. That's right. So where did it sink? It sank off for any given day. Yes, it's a preposition. That's right. And now what is this first? Give me a moment. I'll rather let me do one thing. Let me stop share and share it again. Uh, Vanchita, is it okay now? Is it visible? Okay, so answer this question. Parul says it's a verb. Okay, Vanchita, what will be your answer? Let me look if there's anyone on the YouTube. Adverb. That's correct answer, Vanchita. The reason, Parul, being that came is the verb, and which position did you come? That's first. So as it is modifying a verb, so that's why it's an adverb. Now the simplest of all. Yep, it's a preposition. So this one is a preposition. Oh. Yeah, swam is the verb. So longest is the right one. So the correct answer. Oh, Parul. Yep, correct answer from your side as well. Wonderful. So here this for is functioning as a conjunction because it is connecting these two parts of sentences, because for is not working as a preposition here, it is working as a conjunction in place of because. So the next one. Yeah, exactly. So it is for sure a conjunction. Definitely, yes. It's a conjunction. Not an adjective. Yep, yep, an adverb. The reason being, snow is the noun here, and little is the adjective, and this too is the exaggeration, as I told you earlier. So that's an adverb. No problems. Okay, now you need to pick up the phrases from here to fill in these blanks. Let me adjust them so that you can at the same time. Well, that's pretty simple now. Yep. So 21st is simple. So 21st is third. Yeah. Yeah, told against. That's right. So it will be the first one. Yeah. To tell off is to reprimand. So that's why fourth would be the answer here. Now 24th. No, 24th is second. To tell the cards is to tell the future, right? Because tarot cards, that's what we are discussing here probably. The, if I move to, so only so here it would be second. So when the dictator dies, there's no telling what may happen. So it's the fifth one. Okay, now the next slide. Twenty-sixth. Yeah, Vanchita, what's your answer? Parul gave the answer. No, not the first one, second one. Sorry, the fourth one. To know by heart is to know something like on back of your hand, like back of your hand. So the fourth one is the correct answer. Now the 27th. Yep, Parul, that's right. Second. In the know, that means you know something. Like you, if you are in the know means that you know a lot about it internally. 28th would be third. This is misleading. Third would be the answer. So instead of as he knows the ropes, so that will be the correct answer. Yeah, that was a simple one. Yeah, that's right. That's correct. So obviously, yeah, that's right. Easy one, and also we have got only one left. So the order is 4, 2, 3, 5, 1. So the film star was well known, a household name. Okay, now let's move to something sort of part error that we say. So you need to tell me which part of the sentence do you think there's an error. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have divided the whole sentence into 4 parts. You need to tell me which part has got an error. Okay, first, what's the error in the first one, Arun?
Sir, I
Instead of more, it should be most.
yes,
Sorry.
I tried this also. The most
Because
serious
you
argument. Am I audible?
yeah, you guys better you respond through the mic rather than punching in the answers. That's better. Yeah, that's the. I'm not in good health today, probably. So I'm afraid that I may doze off. No, not that seriously that I may doze off, but yes, to keep the session alive, you guys better verbally in case if possible. If not, then you may mention your answer in the chat box. Yes, the answer is most serious argument. Now the question. See, the first thing is that we don't know if the comparison is being made. So we are not sure. Secondly, definite article the is used before the superlatives and not. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So you guys are
Yes,
not.
sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now let's move to 30-second question. What do you think? Which part has here?
Sir, is it the second one?
Yes, sir.
What makes you say that?
Sir, I tried 2 methods. Number one, the crossing out the correct one. So I thought that the other 3 were correct. And number 2, something wrong with some. I mean the word some.
No, that's okay. All corporate successes.
So I
Now,
think it should
successes
be
is plural.
losses.
Sorry.
So I think it should be losses.
Uh, it's like all corporate successes is plural. So create is the verb which is in plural form without the s. So makes sense. Now, point is that you are talking about people. The losers or winners are people, right? So instead of which, it should be who. this is the pronoun antecedent sort of thing. So after comma, you need to use a pronoun which refers to the subject which is mentioned before comma, or you can say the pronoun used after the comma should be in agreement with the subject which has been mentioned before. This losers forms the pronoun antecedent, antecedent, something which comes before the pronoun, the subject. So that is what it refers to. I hope you got the answer now.
Yes, sir.
So something new to learn. Okay, now the next one, 33rd. Oh, let me get another chair. I think so. This chair should be up. So where do you find error in this one?
The third one.
Oh, okay. What that's correct. That's correct. And what makes you say so?
Because it should be has instead of have.
The reason is this is the subject. So it should be has instead of have. That's the correct answer. Okay, now what's the error in this one?
So is it four?
Yes, it is 4. What's the error?
It should be the other one instead of the next one.
Have you done this question somewhere
No, sir. I'm doing
else
it.
also? Because 2 correct answers back to back is such a great thing. Yeah, the other one, not the next one, because we don't know if the letters came in that was the first one and this, because it does not say first, it says one. Oh, that's correct. Parul, that's right. No, Vanchita, not the second one. Instead of, yeah, Vanchita, that you are also right. The second one, that's right. So instead of above, it should be over. Switch over. You move to something else. So switch over. Wonderful. You guys are doing pretty well, I must say. Let me check if there's anyone on the YouTube who I should answer. No, there aren't any issues over here. Now that was quick and correct, Parul. Wonderful. Vanchita, what do you think? Where the error is? Wonderful. That's keeping the competition live, right? Yes. As the subject is robo competition, yes, that is required. Wonderful, going great guns. 37. Okay, fourth. Word that I used earlier. No, Panchada will be the fourth one. Instead of within, it should be built over 200, 2 centuries. Period of time. So built over. Okay, now, which do you think has got error? I'm sorry, which is the correct answer? You can read the instructions in case if you want. I need to mark the answers for earlier questions. Anyone watching the video should be able to know the error. Hmm. But I did mark the answers. Options are not that important. Here in the option. Yeah, this was a piece of cake, right? If you are thinking, if this is what you're doing.
So the options are for which one? Is it hadn't or doesn't? I mean, the options are there for what? Is it if he hadn't been
Yeah,
or
it's for doesn't.
okay, sir.
Probably I forgot to highlight these ones. Apologies for that. Yeah, the reason being that when two things happen in past and it's a conditional, so if uh, the one which happened earlier will have had in it and the other part will have would. Like it's as simple as saying that if he had studied hard, he would have passed. So this is the underlined word which has to be replaced or changed. Yes, the correct answer would be second one. Had he. It's a conditional. Had he been more careful. Again, if he had studied hard, he would have passed in the same structure. If they had waited another month, they would. I think so. It's like what will come here. This would be it. This is a little, I think so. There's some problem with the question. Let's not get into this question. It seems that there's some, because the answer would be, let me put across the answer. Answer, I think, should be they could have got. See, again, the same structure. If he had studied hard, he would have passed. So if they probably a better price, probably a typing error, uh, ill structured. So let's not get into this question. That's right, freezes. When it's cold, water freezes. If he decides to accept that job, then what will happen in future? He will regret it for the rest of his life, right? So this is the first conditional. It says that if the first part of the sentence is in conditional form and it is in simple present, right? So the next part of the sentence which would happen should be in simple future. So as you can see, there's no will be or will have. It's simple future will, and the first form or the base form of the verb regret. So that's why this is the first conditional. So if is used, a conditional is used, and the first part of the sentence is in simple present. So the next part would be in simple future. Let me give you a simple example to explain this concept. If he comes to me, simple present, I will teach him. So the second part of the sentence is contingent on what happens in the first part. Yeah, that's right. You will be able. Will you be able?
So, shouldn't it be if only I'd invested in that company, I would have become.
That's right. That's why second would be the correct answer. If only I had invested in that company, past perfect, I this will remain. So probably the underlined area would be just this. So that's why second would be the correct answer. Now, in this case, two sentences are there. See, read the directions. Each of the following questions contains two sentences. Identify the sentence which is grammatically incorrect, not correct. So you need to tell me which one is incorrect, first or second. Right. Even though residence is plural, right? But whenever we use the number, it always takes a singular verb. So second one is incorrect. Has is correct, right? Like a number always take a plural verb. Like I'll say, I have told you a number of times, right? So a number would make it would always take a plural verb, and number, whatever number it may be, 1 lakh, 10,000, or let's say 3 times 4, 1, 6, or whatsoever the number of the uh, number plate of a car, whatsoever, it will be singular number, right? So that's why the number takes a singular verb, a number takes a plural verb. Okay, now 47. Now you have to tell which one is wrong. One is correct, that's right. The second is wrong. Now that was the catch. That's how it happens in exam as well. So first is correct because anything for more than 2 we use among, and for 2 we use between. 48. Second is wrong. Actually, both would be correct as per context. I work like a librarian means that I sort things in an order like a librarian. So it would be correct in a context. But right now, I want to tell what is the position that I hold. So that is why I work as a librarian is correct, and I work like a librarian is wrong. Actually, another way this could be correct also. Okay, now the next one. This is an easy one. Yep, again, first is correct. Because children is countable, so fewer is correct. That's why second is incorrect. Now this one. Yeah, second is correct. The reason being that I baked is the modifier for cake and not for the door. So second is correct. First is wrong. Why? Because first makes us feel that I have put the cake by the door that I baked, but I never baked the door. I baked the cake. So this group of words that I baked is misplaced modifier. It was modifying the door, and now correctly it is modifying the cake. Okay, instructions for next set of questions. I'll come back to these questions later on. First, let's explore a few sentence correction because this is grammar. It can go on. I have a lot of questions for there. Now, let's discuss these. Oh, I took the blind area. Let me underline it for you. So this is the part which has got an error, and you need to tell us which one is.
Sir, I think it should be the first option, that it does not need a correction.
Astronomers at Palomar University, just a moment. Have a relook. There's a problem with the first one. That's right, Parul. Why do you think that to be the correct answer?
Because that they are talking about the supernova explosion, to be specific. So
Mhm.
they believe to be off.
See, the point is that you don't need this that. Right? That is not required at all. So the correct structure is in the fifth option, which says astronomers at Palomar Observatory have discovered a distant supernova explosion. So they know which explosion. One, they believe to be of a type. Of is correctly present in third also, and as fourth does not have that, so they believe that again is wrong. They believe that it is off. Why do you need this it and that? You believe something to be true or false, right? So they believe it to be, and when it belongs to something, they believe it to be of a type previously unknown. So fifth is the correct answer. So I hope, Vanchita, that clears it out. Okay, so this is the part which is which has an error. Obviously, you can read the first statement. The first statement would be the part which will have an error. No, the original sentence is correct in this case. So first is the correct answer. Why? Because you agree that this should be done, right? So this that is present only in the first and the fifth option. None of the other options has got that in it. So for that reason, it is rejected. Now further, why fifth option is rejected is, look at the structure. The government spends. So it's in the verb form. So why would you like to have a noun agreement? Why not keep it in verb form? However much the voters may agree, again in the verb form. So that makes the structure parallel. So that's why first one is the correct answer. This is the part which is gotten or not. That means for this you need to answer. Nope. This is probably if you attend the sentence correction section, then you know that these sort of words which are there in the beginning, right? These are called modifying words. And after that, you have your subject or the noun. Now, the scholars, but the scholar based on the counts. Right? So nothing out of none of the sentences out of first, second, third, or fourth makes sense. Fifth aptly makes sense that using accounts of various ancient writers, who use them? The scholars. Because the first option means that the scholars were based on the accounts of various ancient writers. No, no, no. The scholars use the accounts of various ancient writers. That's right, Parveen. So the fifth is the correct answer. Now, in this fourth question, uh, the whole thing is has to be restructured or has to be accepted as such. So I'll straight away show you the options. The fifth one won't come into fit into the. Okay, you first. Okay, let me tell you the error in the first one. The error in the first one is formulas of cash flow and equity do not apply to small businesses in the same way as they, because they are growing. So this they we do not know. So this is a pronoun reference error. We don't know if it is referring to formulas or businesses. So that's why first one is not the correct answer. So now I'll scroll down so that the remaining four options. So the original sentence definitely had this error. Let's see if this error is fixed in a better way. I hope all the other four options are visible to you. Take your time, think about this question. This is a very good question. And by applying the logic that I've told you earlier, you can negate some options easily. Well, it's dinner time, so pardon the whistle at in the background. I'll turn off the mic sometime. I hope we are connected. It's just that you're taking some time to work out the answer. Kindly reply in chat box with a yes or something, or you can unmute yourself. Okay, wonderful. Take your time. It ain't that difficult. Let me help you with this. Uh, okay, now let's look at this. See, because they are growing and are seldom in equilibrium, I told you in earlier question also, after comma, you use the noun and uh, for which these words have been used. Is it that the formulas are growing and seldom in equilibrium? No, you wanted to say it for you wanted to refer it to businesses. So this is crossed out. Because they are growing and are seldom in equilibrium, new businesses, oh wow, it makes sense. Now this is the correct modifier is being used correctly for new small businesses because they are growing and are seldom in, are not subject to same applicability. Now that is where it makes it wrong. Similarly, fifth also, everything is fine, but again you've got this applicability. Now look at the fourth option, how well worded it is, which is the correct answer also. Because new small businesses are growing and are seldom in equilibrium. So now this is not the modifying phrase for formulas. Why? Why is it not a phrase? Because new businesses are growing. So the subject and the verb has already been used. Whereas whenever it's a modifier, it's a group of words. But whenever you have got a subject and a verb form, so after comma, then whatever you're saying is an extension to that sentence, and you don't look for the noun for which the modifier has been used. So this is a part of sentence. Because new businesses are growing and are seldom in equilibrium. So this is another part of sentence. Formulas for cash flow and ratio of debt to equity do not apply to them in the same way as to established big businesses. If you want, I can repeat once again. If it's clear, I'll proceed further. That was strange that I got disconnected on a or thrown off the net on a broadband as well. I could understand in a mobile network connection if I could get thrown away, and I got locked out on a broadband. What else can be done? Happens, strange things happen. Okay, so is the answer clear? Why we chose fourth option four to be the correct answer and not any other option? If that's okay, okay. So I hope it's okay with you as well, Parul.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now again, this one is also the whole thing is you need to work out that if it is correct or not. So in this, I'll tell you why the original sentence is wrong, so that we can scroll up with the remaining four options. Unlike computer skills or other technical skills, now we are looking for something here, right? So that instead of that, you are getting further sentence, right? So these modifiers, we are not getting the word which should come here. So that reason, the first option is rejected. So you now need to work out of second, third, fourth, and fifth. Right? In this case, second is also wrong, because again after comma you are not getting the subject or the noun for which these modifying words have been used. Now third to an extent is correct. Why? Because unlike computer or technical skills, now we are introducing the subject analytical skills, but then it goes haywire with the remaining part of the sentence that analytical skills bring out disinclination. Do analytical skills bring out the disinclination? No, that's not the case. So that's why it's a wrong answer, right? So let's look at fifth. Many people have a disinclination to recognize the weakness of the while willing to admit. Now this structure is odd. More so, just check this thing. To, in, admit, there. So this is not the correct one. Look at the fourth one. Many people willing to admit that they lack computer skills or other skills are disinclined. So it's in a verb form. To, and what they are disinclined to, recognize that their analytical skills are weak. This was a tough one. Will take some time to absorb in. Don't worry. This is a pretty simple one. And you're getting all the 5 options along with the question in one go. So go for it. No? Okay, let me help you with this one. So the problem in the option first and third is that you're using and, whereas you need to use or. Right? So it will be either destroyed or damaged. Right? So that's why you need to use or instead of and. So first and third are rejected. Now let's look at the fourth option. It unnecessarily is using have been, whereas you need to use had. If two things happen in past, the one which happens earlier before the, whichever action happens before the two should have had. It's not present perfect. The action has happened. It should be past perfect. Now out of second and fifth, earthquake happened last year, right? So that's why second is the correct answer, because fifth is modifying last year some of the buildings, and it's not telling when did the earthquake, like it's removing the focus from the earthquake. So the second one is correctly summing it up, that some buildings that were destroyed or heavily damaged when in the earthquake last year. So that's why second is the correct answer. Vanshita, you were quite close by rejecting the other options, but the correct one is the second one. I hope it's clear to you as well.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. Now let's move to the seventh question. This is the part which is in error. Yes, Parul, that was quick and correct as well. That's the correct answer. Wonderful. So the original sentence itself is correct. It maintains the parallelism throughout and defined rights and obligations involved. So if you look at defined, involved, provided, these are all in past form. Second one is moving into the ing. Third one has got defined. We'll come to that later. Whose rights? Again wrong. The distribution and consumption, again wrong. Now let's come back to third. And defined rights and obligations as they were involved. You don't need this as they were involved in its distribution. Now what is this it's referring to? So again, this is wrong. So the given sentence itself, first one is correct. I hope, Vanchita, it's clear to you also. Okay, now the next question. No, Parul, not the correct answer. You are quite near, but not the correct answer. I think you have picked up the. Yes, now you're right. Right. Now you guys have picked up. No, Vanchita, not the correct answer. The reason being, first of all, the dioxin thing is countable. So this much rules out these three options. So these are incorrect ones. Now many, which is countable, is there in fourth and fifth. So many of the dioxins that are currently uncontrolled and North Americans, now it is making the continuous flow is making it sound something awkward. A report of American Academy for the Advancement of Science has concluded that many of the currently uncontrolled dioxins to which North Americans are exposed. Right? It is not that a report has concluded that uncontrolled dioxins and Americans are the two things they are talking about. No, no, no. It is a cause and effect relationship that is being mentioned here. Many of the currently uncontrolled dioxins to which North Americans are exposed. So that is the correct format. I hope it's clear to both of you now. So
Yes, sir.
moving to the next one. This is a good one. Oh, let me underline. Oh, Vanchita, what a bounce back. Right answer. No, Parul. You were there near there. Now the point, the Y second is rejected as damage and slowing, they are in different form. So we need a parallel structure. Right? And obviously, yes, we do need off, which is only there in second, third, and fifth option. So second is rejected because the one is ing form, the other one is not. And look at the third option, the damage to or the slowness of the growth. For God's sake, you don't need this passive form, or rather this structure. Look at the fifth one, damaging one thing or slowing the growth of. Slowness of the growth, no, that does not make sense. Slowing the growth, you need it in verb form. Here's the error. Parul, are you asking about the previous question or this one? Okay, let me mark the answers. Why it can't be third, fourth, and fifth. See, phenomena is a plural thing. Phenomenon is singular. This is plural, right? So if phenomenon is plural, what is this it doing here in third and fourth option? That's why they are marked as incorrect answer. Now let's look at the fifth option. It says water just as to the. You don't need a definite article here. And similarly, fourth also has got this definite article. You need the indefinite article a. Now, if you have removed all these options, you're left with first and second one. Water, no. The correct idiomatic thing is as to a. This thing would sound ridiculous. As to a, this thing is as ridiculous. Falling short of words. The correct idiomatic phrase would be X looks as to a this to Y. So the idiomatic thing which is correct is moving smoothly and uniformly through the water as to a person. Right. So we are saying that X and Y are two people. One is on the ship, other one is standing. So the phenomena will look to X as it will look to Y. Now it is correct. Now it becomes simple. As at times you can boil down grammar also to mathematics. It helps. So the phenomena would look similar to X as it would to as to Y, right? As it would look or as to Y. So this is the correct structure which is there in the second option. And with that, I just forgot that I have overshooted the given time. It's 2 minutes beyond the session. Okay, guys, now we'll be meeting after a break now, but I would recommend you guys practice a lot of tests and do a lot of exercises online. You guys are doing great, and it is not just for verbal. In case if verbal is your strong area, spend more time on other areas, whichever is weaker one. I don't think so. You need to spend time at least on verbal grammar part. Grammar, you guys brilliantly answered. I'm quite happy with your with the way you answered. So kindly, those who will watch the video later on, uh, they can also do an honest analysis. Which area, SWOT analysis, strength, weakness. Rather, let's not go to opportunity and threat for now. So a strength and weakness analysis can be done, and whatever you lack in, whichever segment of the exam, you put in more effort to that, and by doing attempting more tests and doing more practice exercises. On that note, I end today's session and I'm open to questions if any.